In this module, I want to have a look at the subtotals feature. So on the screen, I've got some data and I want to do the subtotals on this column that's colored yellow, which is course attended. Now for subtotals to work properly, you have to sort the column that you want to do it on. So this is not sorted at the minute, so I will do that. I'm on the data tab and I'm just going to go A to Z sort, just sort that. So that's sorted that column. Nothing's out of sync, that's how it is. Now I can apply the subtotals to this column. Now you can either just highlight this column or you can leave it as it is and go to data. I'm still in the data tab, and then over on the right there, subtotals. Now normally if you don't highlight the particular column you want to do it on, it always goes for the first column, in this case section. So it's picking up section. I don't want it on that one. I'll change that to course attended. And it's got the sum function as default. I can't use the sum function because this is text, so I must change that to something else. Count, I can count it. And it's got a tick on the age column. I don't want it to appear underneath the age column. I want it on the course attended column. That's all I want for now, so I'll click OK to that one. And then what you get is the subtotals emboldened under each category. So for example, there's 27 equal ops courses. Now, what you get in the margin area is a series of numbers and a series of collapsible bars. So if I click on one of these minuses, that will collapse that equal ops out of the way. Another one collapses that one out of the way, the leadership count, and so on and so on. I could also use the number. If I click on number 2, it would collapse everything to the subtotals, so you'd get the breakdown of the subtotals. If I click on number 1, that will give me just the grand total, and number 3 will open it up as it was initially. So if you've got lots of categories, you probably don't want to be going down, clicking on all minuses one at a time. You want to be using these numbers at the top. So there is the subtotals, and you can see that. Now, if you click on one of these, you can actually see the function that's being used there. It is the subtotal function, and you can see it sitting there. Number 3 represents count. Number 9 would represent sum. Now that's one example. And if you want to remove the subtotals, you just go back over to subtotals and remove all, and then you're back to square one. Now in the second example, if I go into example 2, I want to know what the sales breakdown is for these people. I have already sorted this column. This column is sorted. So I just need to go to subtotals. Subtotals. It picks up name, which is the first column this time. That's correct. It's showing me the sum function, which is also correct because I do want to do the sum on the sales column, which is also correct. So everything in this box is correct. So I'm going to click OK to that, and I get the same features. I'll click on number 2 so you can see the subtotals for everybody. And if you wanted to open somebody up, you just click on the plus for that person and it would expand their area. Now you can also do this with subtotals, but you've got to be quite careful. You can see the 9 there for the sum function. Look, if I go back into it, back into subtotals, I might want to put the average on, but I need to take this tick off. What I'm going to do is change sum to average. Because I've removed that tick, it's going to keep the sum but add the average. Now click OK to that. So now you get an average in there as well. So average total, average total, and you get an extra number at the top there. 4 expands everything. 3 does that. 2 just does the sum. 1 gives you the breakdown like so. So as long as it's not too complicated, I think you can utilize that. Now the last example, if I go into example 3, is where you've got multiple quarters. So multiple quarters on this one. Again, the sales rep is sorted. That's key. You must do that, otherwise you get inaccurate information. Going over to subtotals, and this is going to be slightly different. So each change in sales rep, that's what I want. To use the sum function, I also want the sum function and put it under the sales column. But that's not just the sales column. Let's have a look. I need it for each quarter. So what you have to do is tick each of the sales columns for each quarter. So there's going to be 4 of these, and then it will do it for each one. So if I click OK to that, you can see there that it's actually, I'll just make that bold. You can see the figures there for that person. Just open that up, like so. Again, you get the numbers. So if I click on number 2, it breaks it down like so, and then I could have made the whole thing bold there. So that's a subtotal example where you've got multiple options that you want to select 4 quarters in this demonstration spreadsheet. So that's all I want to talk about on this little session, how to use the subtotal feature.